you never really expect yourself to be where you end up.
Lando coming in here with a queen charge with the siege barracks. Got a CC pull, or at least part of a CC pull. I don't think you got a full CC pull out of that. What you got, Lando? Ooh, heavy damage. Has to pop his abilities. He's got deep expos. He's closer expos. Crazy amounts of fire right there. I don't think the queen is long for this world. Gonna turn this queen charge into a royal champion charge. Minus coming in. Pekka working on the outside. King swung to the inside. He'll get the town hall down for sure. I don't think this is gonna be a triple, but this is going rough here for Lando. Can he get this still? He's out of cleanup troops. This could go to a 1-star. He needs another 6% here. Oh no! Lando! What happened? Oh, he's got that ward alive. I don't think he'd get another 4% here. I think it's a 1-star.
So let's talk a little bit about witches and Yetis. Here is the day's log. I only got 3 hits in. You gotta start somewhere. I didn't have a lot of time. It was the next day. Busy day, but here we go. Let's jump into some of these raids. Alright, so going into our first raid, we're very low in Legend League. We missed a lot of days of hitting, so kind of surprised I was still in Legend League, to be honest. But we draw a soft target, which is good, because I could use a warm-up after my last hit that we just saw in the Worlds. Now, the idea here was I want to ward and walk that multi-target Inferno, and then I'll send all the troops into the single over at about 10 o'clock, and then blimp the town hall and just see how it plays out. It'd been a while since I've done any Yeti Smash-ish raids, and I hadn't done anything with... it's just been a while. So, anyways... just needed the practice. I know the space isn't super impressive, but it is Legend League. We will see a max base here coming up soon. But I decided to cut the funnel at 12 with a minion, and that's basically just to kind of start mowing down those buildings up there, because it's so much trash between them and the walls that I want to get to. So there we go. Got the king and the witches down at 10 to cut the other side of the funnel. Now, I'm just being patient here. I want to wall break into the single, so I got to put those wall breakers at like 11:30. Put the balloons down. Wall breakers did get in there. I hit the tome. Everybody's working their way through. Got a partial CC pool, just waiting for the witches to come out. And I poison the witches. And then we're going to send the blimp in through where the balloons and healers came into the base. That way we know it'll make it to the town hall, since we already used the warden ability. Now, after this, I had done Yeti bats, and I learned a lot from doing this for the Yeti bat. To use the immortal blimp technique is very powerful, where you tome your blimp to get through the base. So that, for me, was a learning experience that I adapted for the Yeti bat, because I saw other players doing it too. So, but that started here. All of that learning from the Yeti bat actually started here. This was immediately after Worlds, or yeah, I think it was immediately after Worlds. So, here we go. We're just kind of pushing through the base. The Royal Champ I put kind of on the back end late to clean up the defenses outside that the Yetis might not get. And the Yetis end up breaking out, and the champ ends up working in ahead of the Yetis to finish off the defenses. And we're going to pull in a triple. It's not that impressive here, but again, it's just about the exercise and the practice. All right, let's take a look at another raid. Okay, so here we go. Drew our next base. This one looks a little bit more maxed, which is good. It's not completely maxed, but at least we're getting a little bit better quality base as far as how developed that it is. Deciding here where I want to enter this base, and for me, I'm not used to hitting this style of base, so it's a little bit tricky. Here we go, getting some messages, always nice. Don't forget to turn off those notifications. So here we go, we decide to ward and walk here. We're going to get that bomb tower. My goal is to get the archer tower that's in between the air defense and the warden, enemy warden statue. So we rage up here because it's just too much point defense for him to have to deal with, and we have plenty of rages, so I don't have to be necessarily frugal with the spells. I can be a little liberal with my rage spells, so I am. Now I get the king down, and we're going to get some troops down to help him funnel that 12 o'clock side. I get the rest of the troops in. Here we go. I hit the tome, but my timing was a little off with those wall breakers, so we don't get the troops to follow the wall breaks in, which would have been nice because we got all the way to the town hall with the wall breakers, but I end up having to burn the jump here and send the troops in. So here we go. Healers are on the Yetis, which is good, and really that's a lot about timing. Getting the healers onto the Yetis is an art, and you really got to nail your timing to make that happen every time. So I poison the balloons and the hound. The problem is the queen is way behind, and those balloons are doing a lot of work on my Yetis right now. The hound does go down. Now we got to deal with the pups while the balloons pretty much beat up my Yetis, and they're not going to make it through this raid. But I do still have all three heroes. Here they go, working their way through. Oh wait, did my king go down? I think my king did go down. Yeah, he was part of the funnel. Of course he's down. So I don't have all three. I just have the queen and the royal champ. But I have a few balloons, a few cleanup troops, and we're going to have just enough with the queen, the royal champ, the warden, and the cleanup, and a handful of spells. We're going to barely pull this one off. So Royal Champ used the ability, is working our way through some of these point defenses. We're lucky that that's a multi-target Inferno on the back end, because had it not been, there's no way we would have got through this base. On the outside, we do have a Yeti, a baby, handful of wizards. We got healers still up, working on healing the queen and the warden, kind of at their own discretion. The queen just has to beat through this wall, and we have a chance to get that multi-target Inferno down. At the time, I'm thinking, I don't think I can get to that Tesla. But because the walls aren't max over here, we are going to have the time to actually get there, which is pretty unbelievable. It is really impressive how important max walls are. When the raids come this close, it's very important that you have those maxed out walls. But anyways, queen's going to end up breaking through any second now. There she goes, and we get down the Tesla. Okay, let's go ahead and look at one more raid. Okay, here we go. Now this is what looks to be a completely maxed out base, and this is perfect because we're about ready to take on this kind of challenge. I decide, looking at the base, that I would like to warden walk this 9 o'clock side because it looks like a nice easy funnel for him to get that the king couldn't get because of the royal champion. So I want to take the royal champion down with my warden. I thought about, should I try to go for that scatter shot? I ultimately decide against that, and I just go for the royal champ, and then we're going to go ahead and cut a funnel at 6, and we're going to push into the town hall from about 7:30. So I rage up the warden just because I thought maybe that champ was looking like she wanted to take a swipe at my warden. She didn't, so it was a little bit wasted, but that's okay. Baby there did not work out very well. Not really sure why I put that baby there. Probably could have put it at 6, but you know, still getting my feet under me, so to speak. So King and Witch is down for the funnel. Ice Golem, Yetis. Being patient, letting that funnel develop. There it goes. Siege Barracks down. Another important thing is to know when to use the Siege Barracks and when to use a blimp. Because I'm going right at the town hall and the wall breakers can get me there, it's only 2 layers. I'm comfortable using the Siege Barracks to get help the king on the funnel because I know I'll get the town hall. Sometimes you want to use the wall wreckers. Sometimes you need to use the blimp. This just happened to be a base that Judgment Call told me I could use a Siege Barracks and that would be fine. So here we go, we're working our way through the base, put a jump to connect the back end where the eagle is. Now the queen is back here too, so she's doing a lot of work on my troops, especially because the queen was taking her time getting through there. But everybody has slowly been pushing their way through the base. The royal champ I had put at about 10 o'clock, 9:30, just to help clean up that 12 o'clock side where I know the queen was not pathing up there. And also, if she was trying to path that way, the Royal Champ clearing that out could force her back down. In the end, the Royal Champ is coming up on this Tesla farm. I decided to freeze it because my Royal Champ was getting low on health, and it's looking pretty good from here. So we have 40 seconds. The only question was time, and for me, whenever I do Warden walks, it's always about time. But anyways, that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. This is going to be a 3-star, and I just wanted to show you how sometimes when you perform really badly, right, you can react many different ways. But for me, the best thing to do is just to start putting in the work. Get right back in there and work. Okay, so that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.